Good morning, everybody. This is Victor Sanchez with your weekly training tape for New Mexico High School football officials. Want to take a look at a few plays this week. We're going to be looking at targeting. We're going to be looking at illegal man downfield. Want to look at formations and false starts. And we also want to look at illegal low blocks by the defense this week. Our first play today involves a illegal block by the kicking team on an onside kick. We have two aspects of this play we want to make sure that we are taking a look at. The first aspect of this play involves contact by this player identified right here. He's going to make a block on a receiving team player. That is an illegal block. If we look and we run this in slow motion, we're going to see the kicker approaching the ball. And in order for the kicking team to be able to legally block a receiving team player, the ball has to either touch a receiving team player or it must travel the required 10 yards outside of the neutral zone for blocks to be legal on kicking team players. And we're going to see here that this block occurs right about the 49.5 of the receiving team side of the 50, and the ball is right at the 49 of the kicking team side of the 50. So this is a foul for an illegal block on an onside kick. Now, when we played in slow motion, it's real easy to see. When we have to play these at full speed, it becomes a little more difficult. But we can get these, and we get this correctly. We're running in full speed so everybody can see what I'm talking about. We can see this block clearly happens before the ball goes 10 yards. And we get two flags here. One is for the illegal block, and the other one, I believe, was for targeting. And we want to say that we would support targeting on this play. If you look at the contact, it's with the crown of the helmet, and there's a launch and a lead. And that player's defenseless as he's looking to recover this onside kick. So good job by the crew here to get flags down on this play. We correctly call an illegal block by the kicking team player, and we put targeting on top of that for leading with the top of the helmet on a defenseless player. Good get here. Our second play this week is going to involve incorrect call for illegal man downfield. And let me preface this by saying a illegal man downfield is one of the most difficult fouls to call just because of the timing of everything. But if we follow a process, we can get it right. And if we work as a team, we can get it right as well. The other tough call is offensive pass interference, but we're not going to get into that today. So on this play, we want to take a look at our umpire, our head linesman, and our line judge. Between the three of them, we need to have teamwork and communication to be able to make sure that we get this right in terms of whether or not we have players downfield illegally, and number two is where the ball is first touched by the receivers on this play. So I'll let it play through, then I'll come back and we'll break it down. We're going to see we have a little screen pass with some linemen out in front, and then a run up the middle, a run up through those blockers, and a flag down for illegal man downfield. So first off, we want to talk about the process by which we determine what is and is not illegal man downfield. And it really is a two-step process. The first part of it is to recognize whether or not you have linemen downfield illegally. That doesn't mean you have a foul. It just means that you understand that I have an offensive lineman downfield illegally. And in this case, we snapped the ball at the 11-yard line. And our first lineman downfield that may be posing a threat looks to be right at about the 10-yard line. So we would not consider this illegal downfield. For purposes for any play, this player would not be fouling at this particular point. The other thing we want to make sure that we do is once we know we have a player illegally downfield, our next step is to look for the ball. Now, if you have a player illegally downfield and you know they're illegally downfield and you look for the ball and the ball is in the air, do not throw a foul. The time it took for you to get from where you recognize the player's illegally downfield to the time you recognize that the ball is in the air, that player was not downfield at that particular point, and it's just, there's no way to be certain. So what we want to say in this two-step process is that one, if you have a player illegally downfield, and two, you look for the ball and it's in the air, then do not throw your flag for illegal man downfield. You're going to be wrong more often then you're going to be right. Now, if you have a player illegally downfield and now you see the ball is in the air, I mean, you look for the quarterback and the ball's in the quarterback's hands. Now all you have to do is wait for the quarterback to throw it. If he does not throw it, no problem. You don't have a foul. But if the quarterback throws it, you know that that player is illegally downfield. The quarterback then throws the ball. You'll be 100% correct every time, all the time, if you follow that two-step process of identifying, one, where is the player located on the field, and two, where is the ball? Is it in the air or in the quarterback's hand? If you meet both criteria where the player is illegally downfield and the ball's in the quarterback's hand, now you just got to wait for the quarterback to throw it past the line of scrimmage. And here's where we run into the problem on this particular play is our line of scrimmage official. If we look at the beginning of this play, we're going to see our head linesman, our line judge, is at the 11-yard line where we're snapping the ball. The next thing you're going to see is he's going to move immediately off the line of scrimmage. There is no need to move off the line of scrimmage on this play. There's no receiver threatening deep, and you're not needing to cover the goal line at this particular point. It's not threatened. So we just need to stay on this line because you're going to see this pass is caught right here at about the 13-yard line. It's clearly behind the line of scrimmage, in which case then we cannot have a foul for illegal man downfield. So if our umpire followed the process and believed that he had a lineman downfield and then saw that the ball was still in the quarterback's hands and then decided to throw after the ball was released, we need help from our line of scrimmage official to let us know where was that ball first touched. And so we need to communicate on this play because we get an incorrect call for illegal man downfield and we do not communicate effectively in terms of A, where was the ball touched, or B, when was the ball passed out of the quarterback's hand when this foul occurred. Now, if we look up at our head linesman at the top of the screen, we're going to see that this official holds the line right here and does a good job of staying still and moving with purpose. So on this particular play, you can come in and give assistance as to where this ball was first touched. Umpire, you're flagged down, especially on a play that's so close to the line of scrimmage. That would be a good time to communicate with your line of scrimmage official and ask them the question, was this ball touched in front or behind the line of scrimmage? If we get that communication, we can get this flag picked up, no foul, and then we continue with our game. Tough play, a lot of moving parts on illegal man downfield, But in summary, we need to use a two-step process of identifying a player illegally downfield and then identifying where the ball is at that particular time. And then we need to communicate with our line of scrimmage officials as to where the ball was first touched. Line of scrimmage officials, this is one of the main reasons why we do not want you moving off the line until absolutely necessary, so that way you know where that ball was first touched. Take care of this play this week. Talk about it in your pre-games. We're going to see more and more of these screen passes, and we want to make sure we get them right on the field. Our third play this week involves alignments of linemen and defensive offsides by cornerback on the top of the screen. This is the first play of the game after the kickoff. This is the first play from scrimmage in this game. And so a couple of things we want to talk about with regard to this particular play. First off is this alignment of the left tackle. We would be okay with warning this left tackle since it is the first play of the game, warning the coach and warning the player that he needs to have better alignment. Right now, he is in the backfield. We do not consider him on the line. His helmet is not breaking the waistline of the center. So on the first play of the game, we don't expect a foul for this. We would expect that you would warn, and then if they continue to line up illegally like this, then go ahead and flag it. But this is the first play of the game. Want to give them a little bit of grace. But any further back than this, I think you don't have the opportunity to warn, and you're going to have to flag this on the first play. But make sure we're seeing this and we're communicating with the player and with the coach that they need to fix this alignment on this play. The second part of this play involves this cornerback at the top. You can see we're snapping the ball right around the 43-yard line, and he is lined up literally on the 43-yard line. So he's in the neutral zone. And we do a good job on this play for recognizing this first play of the game, and we flag him for defensive offsides. You can see our official come in with the preliminary signal. Just a really good job of officiating on this play, first play of the game. Now, some would say, well, why can't we warn the offense and not warn the defense on this kind of a play? Well, first off, the offensive player, there's not a huge advantage gained by this. I mean, there is an advantage gained, but not a huge advantage gained. And we can fix this. On the other hand, this defender at the top, if we try to correct him during the snap, we may affect the play in some way. So it's on them to definitely be out of the neutral zone, but it is a huge advantage when he is over the neutral zone on the offensive player, since this is a line of scrimmage, widest man on the line of scrimmage. So we do have to call this foul off the bat. But just make sure that we are talking about, being ready to officiate the first play of the game. And this crew, I think, is ready to do this. We get a good call for defensive offsides, and hopefully we warned this number 78 and got him back up on the line of scrimmage. Our last two plays this week are going to involve low blocks by the defense. These are illegal low blocks, so there's no low blocks in high school football in New Mexico. And we're going to have a safety on this particular play. I'm going to take a look at our safety identified here by the arrow and take a look at his action on this play. Now we're going to get a run to the right, and we're going to have a lead blocker out in front, and he's going to take out that lead blocker right there. I'll slow it down so we can see it. Lead blocker clears the edge. Number 8 is this lead blocker, and we're going to see a low block on him. Now, we do not flag this on this play, so we need to make sure that we're concentrating and understanding exactly what our keys are. This should be a foul called by our head linesman on this play. That is the primary block in front of him. Back judge, you should have some opinion on this block as well, since this is a running play, and your outside receiver is not contested. So this is a huge safety foul. And when we get to the next play, you're going to see that we're going to have a very similar type of action on an inside run play. This is a huge safety issue, and we need to make sure that A, we're getting these fouls, and B, that we are not coaching this, because when we go to our next play, we're going to see we've got the same teams, and we're going to look at our linebacker who is on the closer to the hash marks. And he is going to, I got the wrong player identified. We're going to look at our linebacker that's identified at the top of the screen. Let me mark him here real quick. We're going to look at this linebacker, and we're going to see him go low on the pulling guard. So again, this is not a legal play in high school football. Both offense and defense cannot go low, especially on plays that are not initial line charge. So this is going to be a foul. Again, we missed this foul. We get it late, it looks like, but this should be the line of scrimmage official getting this foul. These are huge safety concerns. We can have injuries on these plays, and we do not want this in our game. So let's make sure we're focusing, concentrating, and understand the low blocking rule. Get that into your pre-games this week, and make sure that we're talking about this. Again, crunch time. Every game has a little more significance as the season progresses. So let's make sure that we're doing a really good job of taking care of our pregame conversations, and travel safe and go out and make them big fouls out there. Have a good week, everybody.